Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Pershing. Why Operation Pershing? Well, that's in honor of a series of theater-wide ballistic nuclear missiles deployed by the United States in Europe during the Cold War. They started out in about 1960 with the Pershing 1, and then on up to the end of the Cold War. The last iteration, the Pershing 2, was deployed to West Germany in 1983 and caused quite a stir. Yeah, I don't think there was anybody in Europe that was happy about the Pershing 2s. I remember I was a teenager. I remember watching the protests. They were all up in arms. But that's what we're going to call this one. It's going to be the same thing as before. This is going to be a solo game. This time it's only scenario 2, which is just the western half of the map. Nothing going on in the Pacific or Far East regions. Once again, we are doing expansions and optional units, SPAGs, rocket artillery, short-range ballistic missiles, ASW helicopters, naval operations 1 and 2, battleships and battle cruisers, and I think that's it. There are a few things with the expansions and stuff that I got wrong in Operation Nike, and one thing was additional strategic assets. NATO has an extra SSBN. The United States has 2 additional SSBNs. The Soviets also have an additional SSBN. Yeah, so those are extras that go as part of one of the expansions. It's one of the naval ops expansions. I don't remember off the top of my head which one, but it's in there. I'm also doing the optional rule for Nordic Defense, I think is what it's called. The additional units here in Norway and the minor army base. Oh, there is one other extra thing I'm doing as was part of one of those expansions. Let me look real quick to remind myself which one. Yeah, NavOps 1, the Naval Aviation expansion, also includes another expansion unit, the Tu-22 Blinder naval bomber for the Soviet Global Command. And I guess also for Warsaw Pact, maybe. The Blinder was a light bomber. It was the poor man's backfire. You know, the Tu-22M backfire that's used in this expansion I'm playing was the naval or maritime version of the bomber, hence its designation Tu-22M. And the Tu-22 Blinder was a smaller, cheaper shorter range version of that. It had smaller payload, much shorter range, but they were cheaper and faster to build, so they could throw quite a few of them in the air. So that unit is going to be in play that I don't think anyone has ever seen before. I think that's everything that needs explaining. I believe it is. Okay, so here we go. Operation Pershing, Warsaw Pact, turn 1. So let's, I got a new setup. I got stuff in. Since I have the room, I have stuff on the table now instead of over here on my bench. So we'll start off with, random events. Instead of rolling, again, I have chosen for Warsaw Pact. This time around, we're going to play Libyan-sponsored terrorism. So you can see we've got some terrorist cells on the map here. And of course, PRF in Central America, as always. And if the Red Caribbean extension of PRF is not triggered on turn 2, then the Soviet event will be the India-Pakistan war. I did Iran-Iraq last time. This time I'll do India-Pakistan if necessary. Okay, now we go on Warsaw Pact. So we start off with tech, AMD and computers. Okay, got AMD, missed computers. So that's AMD to stage 2. And there they are. Okay, next is going to be military aid and purchase. And I have a terrorist cell on the build plate ready to be placed during the end of turn phase. That can be done as long as Libya is neutral or if it is possessed by Warsaw Pact. Each end of turn phase, a new terrorist cell can be placed. Okay, and then the event allows Warsaw Pact to send 1 unit of military aid to any minor faction that has a terrorist cell. So for this turn, that's going to be Libya. Arms sales discounts do apply. So the SAM you see here is just going to cost 1 because West Libya has a value of 2. And then for themselves, Warsaw Pact started out with 17 in the bank. They're going to spend the remaining 16 on... Wait, that's not right. Those are discounted mechs, or MBTs. You all know the quantity over quality special ability. So those actually cost 3 each. So that's 12. There's still 3 left. So with that 3, that's remaining, Warsaw Pact is also going to buy a SAM, not a spam. And that, no, wait a minute. They're not going to do that. There's 4 left. Not 3. They want to spend the whole 4. So instead, they're going to buy an airborne. There we go. Now we're straight. So 4 MBTs at 3 each for the discount is 12, and then 4 for an airborne makes 16. Now we're straight. So there isn't going to be any combat this time around. Warsaw Pact doesn't want to give NATO any extra income escalation at this point anyway. There isn't going to be any non-combat movement either. They're pretty happy at the moment with their disposition of forces. So we will just go right into place units. So we'll come around to this side, and the 4 MBTs are going to be placed in West Czechoslovakia at Major Army Base there. The airborne will go in East Germany at Major Army Base there. And I have those cards right here. So this one is West Czechoslovakia, and this one is East Germany. Okay. Now we have to do a recruitment roll for Libya. Per the event rules, they get a roll for number of land zones possessed by Libya, which is 2, and then they could get 2 more for each terrorist cell located outside Libya. Make absolutely sure I said that right. No, I said that wrong. 2 for Libya, and then 1 for each terrorist cell outside Libya. But there aren't any of those right now, so they are just going to get, they need to roll a 2 or less. Missed with a 9. Okay, no recruitment. So we deliver military aid next. And we'll just say the SAM is built at the minor army base here in Bulgaria. It comes out of this major port down here through the Turkish Strait to the minor port in West Libya. And there it is. Okay, we've delivered aid. Now we collect money. Warsaw Pact, you see there, is at 17. They're not at war, so there's no additions. So, oh, wait, look what we forgot. Terrorist cell. Yeah, we have to place that. We, for those of you who are not familiar with this event, just real quickly, there is a list of potential factions where you can put a terrorist cell. So it has to be in Cyprus, Eastern Algeria. Where's my list again? There it is. Eastern Algeria, Ethiopia, Malta, Ireland. Oh, Ireland up there. Albania, they're in the Balkans, or Western Sahara. Warsaw Pact has chosen Ethiopia. So there's that. Now, it's my understanding the rules is since there's already terrorist cells in the two Libyan zones, another may not be placed in either one of these zones until all of the eligible zones have had one placed there. It's the way the rules read to me. You can't just bulk everything up here. You got to spread them out. Okay, here's 17 in the bank. And Warsaw Pact is done. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.